Ohayou gozaimasu. Good morning, everybody. I kind of wanted to, Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you very much. The other day, there was the undokai here at the Japanese school. Do you guys know what the undokai is? It's like an athletics day. It's like a field day that kids do. It's pretty traditional in Japan. They do it every year. Based on the school, it's different when they do it, but 大体いつの時かな? 5月? Okay, in May, around that time, they do the undokai, and it's very nice. They split up into the red team and the white team, and then they have they battle and they do all kinds of different kinds of games, and it's pretty fun. And so there's like a relay race, tug of war, and throwing the ball in the basket, that kind of thing. And so there's all kinds of different games, and so it's a fun time. It's fun to watch the kids participate in this. This kind of reminded me of the story that Kaori's father told one time. And so Kaori is from this place called Kumamoto in Japan, and so she comes from a temple family as well. And the temple that she is from used to have this the kindergarten. そこじゃなかったっけ? 近くの小学校だね、この話。Sorry, I had to confirm this story with her. But it's the local elementary school. Okay, so not the kindergarten that they own, but the local elementary school that they own, or that the town that they were a part of. And there would be this undokai, and so the father would go watch this. And then every year he says that it's fun to watch, but every year, 必ず without fail, there is at least one kid that will fall and eat it really hard, and just fall flat on his or her face and just start crying, right, like mama or something, like just in front of everybody. There's hundreds of people here now. There's all the kids and their parents are coming to watch this event now, right? So there's always inevitably one kid that always falls flat on his face or her face and embarrasses him or herself. And at that time, though, there's always a parent, a teacher, whether that's the teacher or the principal or one of the kids' parents, that's sitting in the audience, will come running out and will come to get this child, right, and dakko the child and hold the child and kind of console this child that's crying, who's like embarrassed and also kind of hurt, right, from all of this that's happened. And so this is kind of something that he mentions, and so he also talks about how Amida Buddha is kind of like this parent figure, right? This kind of this figure that watches after this child, So I want to ask, the kids here, have you ever had this kind of thing happen to you where you were embarrassed, of falling or doing something embarrassing in front of other people, right? But you were taken care of by your parent. I remember one time I jumped off the roof of my house to swing on this tree, but the rope was way too long, and so I jumped and I fell, literally, and to this day my knees are not right. And so my grandma saw this, and so she said, yeah, for that split second my heart stopped. I thought you died. And so, but she was there watching after me as well. But yeah, I remember that kind of thing happening. So in much the same way, the Buddha is kind of always watching over us, right? And this isn't just the children, this is also for the adults too. But in this kind of weird way, kids kind of understand this point better than the adults do, right? For adults, this is kind of hard to understand because, we're taught to kind of rely on ourselves and we don't need the help of anybody else, let alone some spiritual figure that we cannot see, right? But the Buddha does watch over us. Or maybe I should say that truth itself watches over us, okay? So the Buddha is our spiritual parent. So imagine that, you're at like a park and you're playing, and if you're an adult, imagine yourself as a child playing at the park, right? Imagine your father or mother or oji-chan or oba-chan or an adult that loved you used to, take you to this park, and imagine that they're watching over you as you play at the jungle gym on the swings or in the sand. Imagine that it's a sunny day and that there are other kids playing, right? And they're blowing their bubbles or playing catch or, they're playing in the sand without a care in the world. Right? And why is that? Why is there not a care in the world with these kids? It's because their parents are there to assure the kids that they're safe, right? And that they can get along and have a good time. And so, the parents watch this and they think, kawaii ne, kawaii, kawaii, and cute, how cute, how cute. And then, so everybody's having a good time, right, at this park. And when you know that your parent is there to protect you and make sure you are okay, you can go about and play however way you want, right? If you like the swings, feeling that being in the air, or if you like playing catch ball or something like that, you can do whatever you want. If you like to get dirty and play in the sand, you can go and do that, right? You can be a captain of a ship or an astronaut, right? You can do all these make-believe things. You can express yourself as freely as you can, as you want, because you have the assurance of your parent, right? And so it's the same way when we think about our lives as well. We play to our heart's content, or we live our lives to our heart's content, right? So this life then becomes our playground, right? And I know that, I don't mean to downplay that there's all these concerns and worries. I understand that. But I want to say that when we understand that we have this truth that we can rely on, the Buddha Dharma, right? And we personify that Buddha Dharma as Amida Buddha, then this Amida Buddha becomes our spiritual parent that we can rely on. When we have something that we can rely on, what we call in Japanese, yoridokoro to suru mono, yoridokoro. When we have something that we can rely on spiritually, we can live this life in vigor, in vitality, with energy, with hope, with joy, right? And we can walk in confidence in this life. That's what this teaching provides us, okay? It provides us with this kind of this spiritual foundation that we can rely on, that will allow us to live this life with curiosity, with wonder, with vigor, right? And all these things, right? And so that is the worldview that this tradition provides us. And I hope that it's something that we can take with us and remember when we start this new year of 2023, right? And so there are so many things in this world that can sway us to and fro, right? If you flip on the news, that's all it is. It's all things that kind of put us in disarray and unsettles our hearts. I saw on the news this morning that a 6-year-old child brought a gun to school and shot his teacher intentionally, right? There are all kinds of things that can just throw us around, right? The politics in the news, oh my gosh, the politics it's mo kiri ga nai desu ne. It's crazy in the politics, right? And so what is it that we are using as our spiritual foundation that can carry us through our lives, right? And that is what the Buddha Dharma is asking us to question, and that is what the Buddha Dharma provides for us, okay, this strength. And with that, I would like to close today's service. Thank you very much for coming today. Okay, thank you. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.